Hey, what's up? It's the Pangolin here, back with another video. And today we're looking at the Jump 2025 anime announcements. I don't know if you know, but the last few days it's been Jump Festa 25 in Japan, and they've been dropping a bunch of new announcements, and even for stuff we already knew about, some new teasers, trailers, a bunch of new stuff for the 2025, 2026 anime years, anime seasons. So today we're just gonna be looking at some of the announcements with stuff I'm excited about personally. There's a bunch of other stuff. So of course, if I don't cover it today, doesn't mean I'm doing a comprehensive look. I'm just looking at some of the stuff I saw I'm excited about. And if I miss anything that you're excited about, let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm sleeping on something I should really be keeping an eye on. So basically, I'm going to start with some of the ongoing series from this season, and then I'm going to get into some stuff you already know about, and then I'm going to get into the really big stuff. So stick around for that, or just skip ahead if you want to hear about some of the really big shows. And there's some stuff I'm personally excited about toward the end that may not be super exciting for everyone. So first up, we got Dandadan airing right now. Well, actually not airing right now. It just ended season 1. A lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Check out my video last week. I talked about some of the negative reviews about Dandadan, and I just gave some rebuttals to some of those. But try to be fair about it. But if you couldn't tell, I personally like Dandadan. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm staying anime only, and that's great to hear because they're doing a really quick turnaround for season 2. As you can see here, Dandadan season 2 is coming July 2025, officially announced. That has me excited, I'm not gonna lie. Also a bit worried that's less than a year in between seasons, but I think if you could tell by where the anime ended, season 1, it kind of didn't really end like the end of a season. It kind of just ended like kind of just in the middle of an arc, in the middle of it honestly ended as if we're getting an episode the week after, which is kind of crazy. Because if you compare it to Blue Box, which is also airing on Netflix right now, that's getting 2 cores, but the last episode felt like a season finale compared to Dandadan. So I'm assuming, this is my assumption about the production schedule, is that we're always planning to do 2 cores, but for the health of the production, they decided to split up the cores and push it back, which I'm really happy about because I want them to maintain this quality for Dandadan. But it's kind of weird to market them as season 1 and season 2 when you just cut in the middle of an arc like that. That was kind of weird. But either way, I'm gassed we're getting so much more Dandadan so quickly. This is a big show. Like I said last week, I don't know if it's the biggest super mainstream show like some of the shows we're going to talk about later, but I think it has a lot of potential. And I think coming quickly with this pause with this next season, keeping the momentum going, I think that's really important for Dandadan. So I think it's going to be really fun. Keep the momentum going. You can see from the key visual here, we're turning up. We got GG in the middle. I assume we're going to finish out this GG arc. Maybe it's going to last the whole of the second season. I don't know. But considering that this is the entire key visual, it's giving me the feeling he's going to have a long arc here. But we'll see. We got Turbo Granny, obviously the 2 main characters. I'm excited for this. But let me know. I assume you guys are excited for this as well. But let me know in the comments. Next up, another currently entering show, Blue Box. Core 2 scheduled for January 2nd. This one, not really a crazy announcement, I'm not going to lie. If you didn't know already, the show was always going to be 24, 25 episodes straight. But I guess they're just saying January 2nd because I think they're taking a week off. So it aired last week. I think this week's going to be a break and it's coming back for January 2nd. So nothing crazy with this one. New key visual though, and then they also dropped the trailer. I'm not going to be able to play any of the trailers in this video. So check out those if you're interested. But new key visual is dope. We got Chinatsu, Hina, of course, Taiki. A new character coming in. I read the manga, so I know who this is, but I'm not going to spoil anything. Nothing crazy to spoil. It's not like that kind of show, but a new character coming in. It's going to be interesting. Maybe you can take a guess who she is by her hair color, but it's going to get very, very interesting in the second part of season 1. And as a manga reader, I'm glad they dropped 25 episodes, bam, just like that. Get a lot of this stuff, just go to one go. I think if this show you have to wait too long for their second season, it might lose some momentum. I think it's a great show, but that's the nature of these romance shows. They have the potential to lose some momentum. So I'm glad to see them just do one season all the way through, and hopefully we get a second season, maybe 2026. That'd be nice. But not much to say about this one here. Another anime we already knew about. I'm just throwing it in here because this video is about 2025 jump shows, and we got Sakamoto Days, of course, coming in January on Netflix. Netflix is, I don't know, Crunchyroll might have to watch out. Netflix is getting a lot of big shows. You have Dandadan and Blue Box right now, and going straight into next year, they're getting Sakamoto Days. Those are 3 big jump shows coming up just like that on Netflix. That's kind of crazy. But we're also getting part 2 in July. So Sakamoto Days, we're getting a lot of Sakamoto Days next year. I'm assuming they're trying to take over next year with Sakamoto Days. Not gonna lie, might be tough with some of the shows that are coming up that I'm going to talk about, but I think Jumps is gonna have a really strong year. You're gonna have Dandadan coming back, Sakamoto Days, and then the 2 shows we're coming up with. Blue Box is still going to be airing. That's a big year for Jump, especially in a transitional period with My Hero ending, Jujutsu Kaisen manga ending. There's a lot of transition going on at Jump, and these shows need to hit. So I'll be curious to see how this goes in January. I haven't read the manga, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of good things about the fight choreography, so I'm hoping it bangs. That's really what they got to nail. From what I hear, the animation has to be on point. That's what matters the most. So I'm very curious to see how this one pans out. And just the last thing we heard about already, Solo Leveling Season 2, January 2025. January looking stacked. I'm not gonna lie. Blue Box is continuing. Solo Leveling Season 2. Sakamoto Days. That's a lot in that one season. This one was from Jump Festa. This one, obviously, because this is not a Jump manga or anything, but I just wanted to bring up another big show, just real quick. They dropped a trailer for this one. You should go check that out. The animation looked good. I'm not gonna lie, the animation did look good. So, Solo Leveling, I actually ended up finishing the manhwa, webtoon, whatever, after season 1, just because like I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, so I didn't really feel that crazy about staying anime only. And it was cool. I might have talked about it already on the channel, but it was cool. It was nothing crazy. Story isn't crazy to me, but the fights were amazing. So as long as they nail the fights, it's kind of similar to Sakamoto Days. They should be good. Up next, though, now we got the big dogs. The big dogs of 2025. Sakamoto Days. I'm looking forward to you. I hope you do well. Dandadan, my favorite show this season, potentially this year. Of course, great shows. Everything I named so far should be great, but you're gonna be struggling to compete when we got something like this coming. Jujutsu Kaisen Hidden Inventory Premature Death compilation movie is scheduled for May 30th, 2025 in Japan. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. I don't live in Japan. I'm sure it'll come to the US eventually, even though we already saw this arc. Aren't you excited? They're doing a movie? Nah, I'm being sarcastic, but of course, this is how they make a ton of money. Put it in theaters. Why not? This was probably the best arc in the whole show, so I understand it. But I'm just teasing you guys. The real announcement, bam, Jujutsu Kaisen Culling Game is coming 2025. Look at this key visual. Oh my god, this key visual is beautiful. I'm not a manga reader. I don't know what any of this means, but it looks amazing. I'm hyped. 2025, another Jujutsu Kaisen year. But it's not going to be without competition. I'm not going to say too much yet. I don't want to spoil what I got coming up. But if you've been paying attention, you know what's coming. But Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm excited for it. Of course, season 2 was a cultural moment, honestly, in the anime fandom. And took this show, when I say mainstream, I'm talking about something like Jujutsu Kaisen. Dandadan is massive for the anime community. I don't know if it's broken through like Attack on Titan and like how Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 did. This show is massive. Can it keep up the momentum? I hope so. I'm not going to say for sure. I don't know. I hear good things about Culling Game, though. I heard a lot of good things about the Shibuya arc. And I heard good things about Culling Game, too. But we'll see how that actually goes. I'm excited for this stuff. But if we're talking big dogs, we're not done there. Because Jujutsu Kaisen is going to have some competition in Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man, the movie Reze arc, scheduled for 2025. Now this is going to get interesting. Before we had Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man in the past, season 1 for both Good shows, big shows, but neither of them went crazy like momentum wise. Jujutsu Kaisen came back, got season 2. Season 2 went crazy. Chainsaw Man, on the other hand, it's been a while. People weren't too happy. Manga readers, anyway. I liked it. I'm not a manga reader. I enjoyed season 1. The manga readers weren't loving the art style. And they took their time. They've been cooking. They said we're doing a movie for the next arc. And this looks good. They dropped the trailer. Go check out the trailer if you haven't seen it already. It looks really good. And they got 2 key visuals. You got Denji and Reze. I don't know. I'm putting my hands up. I don't know which one's going to be bigger. It's going to be tough because this is a movie. So it's going to come out in Japan. I'm assuming then come out in the US. So the momentum, the hype is tougher to maintain around the movie. Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm assuming, is going to be airing for months on end. So it's probably still going to be bigger, especially coming off of season 2. Chainsaw Man might be back. We thought it was the forgotten child at Mappa, but they've been cooking. Low key, it might be their favorite child. On the low. We'll see how that goes. I'm not a manga reader, like I said. I've heard great things about this arc. Great things about the manga in general. You know, Fujimoto's a genius, so hopefully this turns up. I'm very excited for that, and I will be going to see it in theaters whenever it comes to the US. Next up, this one got the big dog out of the way. Let me just be real with you. That's all you care about. See you later. Thanks for watching. But next up, we got My Hero Academia final season scheduled for the fall in 2025. I talked about My Hero Academia earlier this year in a couple of videos when the manga ended. And I know it's not everyone's favorite show. I know it's not the most popular show anymore. But it's still pretty big, but it's been dogged on for years. Understandably, the fan base, we've gone over that. We can't say the last season, the content that covered was some of the best stuff since the early seasons. If you're sleeping, wake back up maybe. I know you've been taking a nap, but that's all. Let the show end and be thankful that it happened, because no matter what you say about My Hero Academia, this will be the end of an era. That transitional period from the big 3 to now we got Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Dandadan all airing next year. My Hero Academia is finishing, and this is kind of a perfect send-off in the year that all these big shows are airing to transition us fully into this next era. Black Clover is still going on in the background, but really My Hero Academia was the big show from that period. So I'm going to tip my hat. I will be watching the final season, and it really will be the end of an era. It'll be sad to see it go, even though the fan base, finally, hopefully, they're done talking. But also in My Hero Academia news, we got My Hero Academia Vigilantes anime, or Illegals. They call it both of those. Coming in April 2025. Now, this is interesting. I did not see this coming. I read this manga a few years ago, My Hero Academia Vigilantes / Illegals. This is a really slept on and underrated manga. This really shows the strength of the My Hero Academia popularity, that it has its own spin-off manga, canon in series. And not that many people know about it, I feel like, but this is a really good manga. I think you should check it out, or maybe just wait for the anime now. I didn't expect this to come, but it's kind of cool that this is airing the same year My Hero Academia is ending, and it's airing before the final season of My Hero Academia. So we're building for canon in the universe before the main story ends. I think that's really smart, honestly. That's really well planned from Jump. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this. I hope people enjoy this, and let it live on its own. We're done with the shipping and all the nonsense of the fandom. Let this live on its own and build its own healthy fan base, hopefully. They dropped the trailer for this too. Check that out. I'm excited for it. Coming down to the end now, we got Kaiju number 8. Season 2 is coming July 2025. I enjoyed season 1. I talked about it earlier this year. I don't think it was anything crazy. This is one of the shows I think Jump was hoping would take off a little more this year. Dandadan, kind of carried on that front. But this is still a cool show. I'm caught up with the manga now. I'm excited for season 2, but I'm not like frothing at the mouth or anything. It's definitely not one of the big boys that I think Jump hoped it would be. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe season 2 will pick up a little bit more momentum. But finally, the last one up. I should have put this first in the video, but I knew realistically people might just click off. But for me, this is super exciting. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Remaster Anime has officially been announced for the series' 20th anniversary. It's coming in April 2025. April is stacked. It looks like the whole next year is stacked. But for me, this is hype. Honestly, back in my head, I'm like, am I really going to watch this? I've already watched this entire show, but I probably will. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just... people always reference it. It doesn't have as much discussion these days like some of the other massive shows, but really growing up, if you grew up watching the cartoons here in America, you had the DBZ and you had Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon too, but I wasn't really big on Pokemon personally. But for me, the big two growing up were DBZ and Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially the original with Yugi and Joey and, you know, whatever else. But this one too, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, I watched so much Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Elemental Heroes, that's really like the last bastion of like the Yu-Gi-Oh! That I love. So I'm excited for this remaster. Hopefully get some youth into Yu-Gi-Oh! I know Yu-Gi-Oh's still going, but no one cares about all this extra stuff they're doing now, especially after, what was it, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, and they had XD, I think, or 3D or some nonsense when they're on the bikes. I know people like that. They had the XYZs and then the synchros and that was like the last I could really get on board with. If you try to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, they got freaking pendulum and all this other stuff I don't even understand. I'm not even gonna get into it, but hopefully this gets back to the roots of Yu-Gi-Oh! Why we all fell in love with it. I'm really excited for this. So April 2025, I will be locked in. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, especially if you made it this far. Like I said at the beginning, let me know. What are you excited for? What are you sleeping on? Is there anything I missed that I should really be looking forward to and locking in for? Or is there anything that I mentioned that you're like, might not be that good? Maybe I'm glazing. Let me know. I'm honestly very curious about what you guys think about these announcements and any announcements I might have missed or not mentioned. 2025 looks like it's going to be a good year, so if you have even 5 seconds to spare, it would help a lot if you like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I'll be back with a video same time next week. See ya.